Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly developer update. So for this week, I've got quite a lot to cover, but the quickest way to sum it up is the game is essentially done for the most part, in the way that the game's development as part of my coursework, the deadline for the game to be finished is the next Wednesday, which will be the 2nd of March. But as of now, the game is in a fully playable state and we are simply just adding features and polishing. So here we've got the main menu I made, the title screen I've made for a start. I made this nice little word art which I think came out really nice. How it's got like the word soulbound, it's got all these flames on it to look like the ghost, and then the word souls in blue and the word bounds in red, because we've got a colour changing feature I'll show you in a second that alternates between red and blue. And down here I've got a little copyright thing, which is like a little joke basically, because this unit is essentially you like simulate being a game studio, and the game studio that we're in is just called Cheddar Cat, so that's just a little just like nod to that. But as you see, if I hover over this button, press start, it glows blue, and then I can go into little controls menu, play 1, play 2, we got controller support, which we also have controller rumble now, which is pretty cool. But if I click start game, obviously playing a 2-player game as one person is probably the best to showcase, but first of all you can see there's a little VHS effect on the camera, so right now there's like a slight static effect, which you might not be able to notice. Up here, as you can see, we've got the scoring system that's been in the game the whole time. You know, oh, that wasn't it last time. We have sound effects now, as well as when the ninja gets hit. Yeah, if I possess this enemy, as you can see, oh yeah, that wasn't in it as well actually. When I'm within possession range of a enemy, as you can see, like a tether goes to them, just showing I can possess them. And then when I possess them, they get this ghost like particle effect on them, showing they're possessed. Now if I blow this guy up on the ninja, and then if I get this guy to kill him, just bop. As you can see, that's a really cool effect, isn't it? So what's happened now is the ninja has now got a blue scarf instead of a red scarf, and the ghost is now red. And now the blue ninjas, for a second there I was scared it wasn't working there, but that's just because I was too far back. But as you can see, the blue ninja's score is now accumulating, because now the red player is playing as a ghost instead. Other than that, as you can see, the bullets look a little different. I'm in the middle of working on basically just revamping the lighting. So essentially I want to add lighting on these crystals and these little mushrooms, just because it's just a nice little thing visually. So that lighting's subject to change. But as for the actual game player wise, like it's in a fully playable state. Like, oh, there's another thing I can showcase, is the frog enemy is now animated. I'm really happy with how this guy's little animation came out. So it does like a little hop, like that. And if I oh, wrong one. If I possess him, I can do these little bounces to basically walk around. I can hold up, my jump key, and he squats down. If I let go, oh, I hit the platform now. If I let go, he does a really high jump. You can shoot his projectile, like so. And the cool thing about the projectile is we actually made it a charged projectile. So what you can do is you can jump up and just drop them with no charge. If you just, if I'm above the ninja player and just want to drop them like that to try and hit him, I can. Or if I'm really far away, I can hold space. You see that little white flash on him? That's actually charged. So if I let go now, it's going to go absolutely flying like that. So I can charge it a certain amount and just launch it quite far. But yeah, if I get the ninja over here, see if I can hit him. I think that dragon might be in the way. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, you can sort of snipe them, or you can just try and jump around them and just sort of drop them on them like so. And that's another cool little thing, that lightning effect. Essentially that lightning, it'll look better outside the cave because it also changes, oh, 2 cave rooms in a row. Oh, we've also got the, I'll show the lighting outside, we've also got these jump pads now. So essentially we can add a lot more elevation to the level. So as you can see, I jump on that and now I can go either up here or down here. Another thing we've got implemented is, oh, it's 2 dragons here. Some of the enemies in the rooms are now randomly spawned rather than being preset, which adds a bit more randomness to the rooms. But as you can see here, this room is the same as that last room, but this one has an Oni mask enemy. Whereas the one over here on the top spawned with a dragon enemy. Despite them both being, you know, the exact same room. Because essentially the way it works is we put a object down, it basically chooses a random enemy and spawns it there. Now you can see it spawned a Oni masked enemy there as well. Whereas I think that one over there spawned 2 dragon heads, which you're now wondering about. Yeah, if I show the lightning effect while outside, get this frog enemy to kill me. Oh, this dragon. As you can see, it sort of lights up the whole scene for a second, which is really cool. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm trying to think, other than that, yeah, the game is just, we've been doing a ton of just bug fixing and playtesting pretty much. So like, you know, one thing I lowered the fire rate on these Oni mask enemies, because what used to happen is, say the ninja is down here, if I was an Oni mask enemy and just spam shot here, the fire rate was so high there was no way the ninja could get up without getting hit, whereas now I can go like that to sort of dodge it. And then to offset that, we've put the Oni's speed up. But other than the everything I've mentioned, there's just been just a lot of just tweaking, bug fixing and polishing. So, you know, there's a lot more rooms now, a lot of these forested rooms. I made a room the other day that I was quite happy with. I don't know if we'll get it spawned because there's about 15 different rooms right now. But there's a room that's like a little forested room where you can take a jump pad and go like up through the trees, or you can take the low road and go through like a little ditch area. But all in all, yeah, the game is in a completely playable state and it feels good. Oh, here's the one I want about. So you can see here we've got another like branching path where it's, do I want to go through here and just try and risk getting through here, or do I want to go up top using the bounce pad and jump over here? So there's a lot of stuff we've been able to do in regards to like adding a bit of verticality to the level now, which is really good. But yeah, other than everything I've mentioned as well, yeah, we've got all the sound effects which are quite nice. Is the only thing we need to basically have the game finished is music. Like that is the only main thing that I'd say needs to be done before we can say the game's fully complete. But bar that, yeah, it's come a hell of a long way. So as for this week, because basically we just have this last week to just polish, bug fix, and just improve on what we've got. So we basically have quite a lot of extension goals that we're basically aiming to just do now. So one of them was adding a new enemy type. So the new enemy type is this little guy that you might have seen a few weeks ago in a old dev diary, where I thought I might as well take this guy because we wanted a charging enemy, which the way it would work in the game would be that it would stand still, and then when the ninja comes in front of it, it will ram forward until it hits the ninja or hits a wall and gets stunned for like a second. And then when it gets possessed, it can charge after the ninja in a similar way to the dragon enemy, but it'd probably be faster with a lower jump as a trade-off. And it'd have that risk of stunning itself. So I thought I might as well take this sprite because that works as a charger enemy. I'm also quite happy with it. And since I'm not actually using this sprite in my next projects, I'm using like the tree wooded version you've seen. So I just started on making animations for it. So right now I've just got it so it's just putting its head down. That would be sort of like a build up readying it to charge. I might make it so like one of its legs moves a bit. So it's, you know, like how a rhino might like move its feet before it's like preparing to charge, something along those lines. Another thing I've been doing is the word art, creating a bit of a slash effect on the word art. So basically the word art will start together like this on the title screen, and a slash will come through and it'll just sort of get separated like so. And I think I'm maybe making it so the rest of the word art's animated, so there's like the actual flames are moving. Another thing we're doing is, because the players swap, as you can see the players swapped colour between red and blue, one issue we found was, because the ninja right now, it only changes the scarf colour. Because as you can see with the ghost, it's quite easy to tell that you're the blue one. Whereas with the ninja, when I swap, the only thing that really changes colour-wise is the scarf. Which, when it gets quite hectic when you're playing with two players, you might not see immediately. So I am basically just changing the ninja colours to just be like, this one's all red and then this one is all blue, essentially, just to make it more visually clear. Because on our last stand-up, basically the only feedback we got was it was change like one sound effect, which we've already changed. The jump pad had like a weird sound effect, but it was do that. It was turn up the global light, which we've done because the game was a little too dark, and it was just maybe change that so it's a bit more visually clear, which is really very simple when a lot of the other groups' stuff was sort of like finishing a lot of their main implementation, whereas we're just polishing them. The other things I forgot to mention is, I've just got all my programmers implementing this today, is I won't play the whole game. It'll probably be easy just to not maximise on play and run this. Right now, because I had this idea that if I can move the player, I'll move the player to 460. This will mess up lower generation because the player's going too fast, but obviously this has never happened in the actual game. I'm just showing this for testing. What you'll see is, because right now the score limit's 500, one thing I thought while playtesting was, when you reach the end, it felt a bit abrupt because there was no visual indicator you were going to reach the end other than the score, which you might not be paying attention to. So we have this here, which is essentially a barrier. Well, not a barrier, it's basically a goal for when that player will win. And the thing is, when the players swap, this goal will then be blue, and it'll basically dynamically change the position of this goal depending on how far each player is from winning. So basically, no matter what, this goal will be at 500 points for that player. So say, for example, this ninja, say the red player died at 300, and then the blue player walked 200 to get here at 500, and then they died, then it would then be 200 away from here, because the red player already has 300 points and it's 200 to equal 500. So essentially, it dynamically moves, so then there's just a visual finish line for each player, which I think is just a little visual clarity thing that works. Other than that, there's really not much else to do. This is something I ended up doing. This ninja art, still a work in progress, but like here it is here, which I'm quite happy with. This is something I want to chuck on the results screen, because that's something I could also show. Is which this took a fair amount of time to do. So like a good 2-3 hours. I just chucked a live stream on, and this came out really well. But I'm really happy with the pose, which having the sword face the other way, because that's the way he does his attack. And then because we're changing the ninja colours, obviously I'll just change this so it has the new colours for each player. So it'll be, oh no, that's because my brush is on a different mode. It will be something along those lines for like the red one, and same for blue. And this art, which I'm really happy with, is going to be used in the results screen, which is something I can also show. Player, if I move the player to 490, you can see that little barrier over there. If I cross that, it'll show a sprite of the winning player, which this here is just a placeholder for when I get this sprite finished, and I'll have this in red and blue. Good. So if the blue player won this shows the blue player, then it says player 2 won then. So yeah, the main things to get done now are music. For me personally, my jobs for this next week are to animate the new enemy type, being the charging enemy, so the Apache here. My other jobs are to animate this word art, finish this ninja art. Other than that, I'm creating a lot more of the room prefabs. So these are all the different rooms that can spawn. So if I click on this one I've made, for example, here's one of the new rooms I made, and there's that's a preset enemy, whereas a randomly spawned enemy will be here, where it'll just choose one of the 4 enemies right now to spawn. So then, other than that, my jobs are also for the title screen. If you've ever played Shovel Knight or The Messenger, where at the start of the game it's like a prologue, they'll show some really nice art with some text under it. So I'm gonna try and create some really nice detailed prologue art, maybe 2 or 3 panels, just to sort of give a bit of context or narrative to the game. So obviously it's not a narrative based game, but it just gives it a bit more context to it on why it's happening. But all in all, with development winding down, I'm very happy with how the game's come along. We went in yesterday, showed the game off, and it got a lot of pretty good feedback, and a lot of people seemed to like it, which was good. And now we even had our course leader wanted to record some gameplay footage of our game to show off. So I don't think you're gonna get better confirmation than that. But all in all, I'm really happy with this game, and I think it's going to be really nice to have a game of this caliber in my portfolio. Also, that jump pad animation is going to change, so it's only bounces when the player jumps on it. But all in all, I'm really happy with this game, and it's a bit sentimental in a way to see the game idea that I came up with, over a year ago, and just had in the background. The game idea that started these dev diaries sort of finally come together and be its own thing, and I'm just really happy with it in general. There are still little gameplay things we might tweak. Like one example is that you don't actually get anything for killing enemies. So an idea I have, for example, is maybe if I as the red player, I'm the blue player, sorry. If I as the blue player right now killed this Oni Mask enemy, maybe that then lowers the red player score by 5 or 10 points, so maybe that then goes to 80 or 85, just so you're sort of incentivized to fight enemies rather than run past them. But even now, it is still quite fun just to dodge and weave, just running around and trying to get past enemies. Because when we've done quite a lot of playtesting to find any bugs, and the game is really fun in general to play. Say this Dragonhead enemy, it's quite a simple left, right and jump controller, but it's very much like when there's 2 players playing, the dragon enemy will jump, you'll try and get past. It's very much like footsie, where each player is trying to catch the other one's bluff. So the ninja's trying to bait out the dragon's jump so he can get under, but then the dragon's trying to jump on him, so if the dragon gets on him, then he can sort of get a couple hits in. So, all in all, I think that covers everything. But all in all, game has come a long way in the past few weeks, and I'm really happy with it. And then I'll show you the complete finished game next week. But after that, I think I'm probably gonna chuck the game on itch, and then if anyone watching this wants to download it and play it, they can do. So, this is a long one, nearly 20 minutes. Well, yeah, 20 minutes by the time I've wound down, but I think that covers everything for this week. Again, bit of a long one, but I've been probably overworking myself a little bit. But I just really wanted to make this game as polished and well made as possible, and I'm really happy with it in general. Alright then, that's enough of me rambling. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next week when Soulbound is finally finished. Or at least finished for now, in case I might work on it in future, you never know. But, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next week. Alright, peace.